chance in the Lloyd Christmas, so you're telling me there's a chance.
Okay.
Because I could understand. I could certainly. It makes sense that Kevin Durant would be interested in joining the Sixers, right? I mean, to play with Joel Embiid, clearly they have a really good connection. They have a huge mutual respect for each other. You saw that the last couple of years, them going back and forth, how competitive they are with each other. And now, the only thing that might have been frosty was the relationship with James Harden, but now we can see they are back to being buds again. They are cool. They're friendly. So if you're Kevin Durant, why not? Why would you not want to come to Philadelphia, play with those two guys? If the Sixers get Kevin Durant, they are the favorites, right? Like they are the favorites to win it all, like without a doubt. And then from the Sixers perspective, yeah, no brainer. Would you like one of the greatest players to ever play basketball? Yes, we would. To accompany with the two other guys who kind of fit that criteria. So, from the Sixers side, I get it. From the Durant side, I get it. From the Nets side, I do not. That's where the issue is. And I think where Durant is, it's not a situation where, at least not that I've seen and not that anyone else has reported, that Durant has said, send me to Philadelphia and that's it, right? Like I have not seen that out there. Like not like the Anthony Davis situation where like he send me to the Lakers. Like that's where he wanted to go. That's where he wanted to be. It's not that type of situation. There are other options they can send him to. One of those options perhaps being the Boston Celtics, which, yeah, that's not going to feel real good for Sixers fans to hear. But when, look at the betting odds, like recently it was the Celtics that were the ones. I saw Sam Amick of The Athletic report that's the front runner offer. When you're looking at, Jaylen Brown, Grant Williams, Robert Williams, and picks, that's quite frankly, with all due respect to what the Sixers have to offer, it's a better offer. And this is that's coming from me, who is as high on Tyrese Maxey as anyone you'll find. This guy is going to be an all-star. Like he's that good. And the sky is the limit. I don't know how good he's going to be yet, but you also have to factor in that they'll have to take back the last 2 years of Tobias Harris's contract to make the money work. Sure, you want to throw Matisse Thybulle in there? Yeah, there's potential there. The guy is a two-time, second team all-defensive team pick. Still a commodity, still a guy that has value. But then after that, what are you giving them? The 2029 first-round pick? Because you can't trade any picks. You're lightening the protections, I suppose, on the 2027 pick you owe the Nets. But why am I doing that when I could go other routes and get other things done? Look at Toronto and what they can offer with, either a Scotty Barnes or an OG Anunoby. Like, with all due respect to what the Sixers have and how good I think Tyrese Maxey can be, I just think unless Durant says I'm going to the Sixers or I'm going to retire or I'm going to sit out the whole season, I don't see the path.
So, in other words, other teams can offer the better package and the more proven commodity already, like a Jaylen Brown, for instance.
Sure. And I guess the one thing I would note, and a lot of very smart people have already noted this, is that with Jaylen Brown, he only has 2 years left on his deal. The cap is supposed to see a spike in 2025. So there's a good chance, if things don't go well for Jaylen Brown in Brooklyn, if he gets traded there, he's going to walk, right? And he's a Georgia guy. So would he go back to perhaps Atlanta, which would have a good amount of money, and go play with Trae Young down there? So there is flight risk there when you're talking about Jaylen Brown, whereas with Maxey, it's maybe not as much. But if you're talking about kind of like what you said, the proven commodity, you want to be good now. Jaylen Brown was just on a team that went to the finals. He's already an all-star basketball player. And wings, too. That's the other thing, too. It is much harder to find elite wings than it is to find elite guards. So if you're Brooklyn and you can get your hands on a guy like that, yeah, that's the package I lean towards. And again, same with Toronto. That's why I lean towards that package, too, because wings are just so hard to get.
It's interesting that you mentioned Toronto, because a lot of the common reports are Philadelphia, Boston, Miami, Phoenix even, and now you're saying Toronto as well. So it seems like the Nets, I mean, why would the Nets in this instance do a favor for Kevin Durant at this point?
Yeah, and to me, if I'm the Nets, I'm making them hold out. Like, I'm not trading him unless I have to, right? Like, because you're not going to, the word is they're getting lowballed. And of course they are. Everyone's trying to steal one of the greatest players of all time. And no one's going to make like their best offer yet. And so, yeah, I'm going to hold on to him. I'm going to hold on to him because that's the other thing, Mark. Like, if they can smooth things over and if they can bring Kevin Durant back, Kyrie Irving plays, the vaccination status doesn't matter this year. if Ben Simmons is healthy, because I know, and listen, I know the city of Philadelphia is very down on Ben Simmons. He is the punchline of a lot of jokes. A lot of that is very fair. But when the guy plays basketball, he's pretty darn good. And when you put him with guys like Durant and guys like Irving who can score and who can shoot and could do those other things, he could fit in really nicely in there. And then they also, they have a Patty Mills who's a good player. The fella named Seth Curry, who is pretty good here, who's still there. Nick Claxton, who's a good young center. Like they have Cameron Thomas. They have a few good pieces that if Durant and Kyrie come back, they're going to be competitive. Like they're going to be a team that's going to fight for the East if they can smooth it all over. So if I'm the Nets, I'm not in a hurry. And to me, it's going to come down to Kevin Durant telling me I am not showing up to training camp before I even seriously start entertaining stuff.